Hi everyone, it's Ruth Stern, and today's topic is, are you an eagle or a duck? Wayne Dyer, many years ago, used this analogy to describe how we approach the world. A duck mentality is someone who gets into a problem and complains and cannot see the solution. Lots of complaining, quack, 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 quack. And an eagle mentality is someone who sees the problem, who's also in it, because we're human, we are, but very quickly goes to the solution or looks for another perspective to move out of it. So ask yourself, what do I do more of? Because we all do both of them, but do I tend to be more of a duck or do I tend to be more of an eagle? And in order to be happier and more successful in life, you really want to be in the eagle mode. It'll make you feel better internally, and it'll affect other people much more positively. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Just to give you an example of what that looks like. Years ago, I was traveling with some colleagues. We were at a convention, and we went to the hotel, and they did not have our reservation. And they told us it'll be about 4 hours before we can put our stuff in the room. And immediately the group of people that I was with started saying, oh my God, this is such a pain, what are we going to do? And they were very upset, and I'm watching this, and at that time, for that situation, I was an eagle. I've been a duck too, but not that day. And I immediately just watched him and left, went to the counter, and I asked for the head manager, told him the problem, and within 20 minutes, he got us rooms. Eagle thinking gets you results. That's an example. So what I'm telling you here is, in order to be an eagle in life and work, you want to change your perspective. So you want to ask yourself these questions. When you get caught up in problematic thinking, you want to ask yourself, what's another way to look at this? What's a solution here? How can I move through this much more quickly so I don't have to stay in this negative perspective? So I'll give you an example. I'll do a business example. Let's say you're going to a networking meeting, and you're going to meet other people there because hopefully they'll be potential clients. But if you're in the duck mentality, you tend to say things like, I'm afraid they won't want my services. Maybe they'll think it costs too much. Anyway, I'm afraid of rejection. So imagine going into a meeting like that versus an eagle thinking. So let's say you were an eagle and you were thinking these things. How would you overcome it? Well, an eagle might say something like this. I choose to feel bold and courageous as I walk into the meeting. I want to stand tall and feel more free. I'm going to have bold and confident conversations, and I'm not going to be attached to whether they say no to my services, because deep down I really want to work with people who are committed to change and see the value of my offer. I would tell people clearly who I am and what I do without fear of how I'm received, and I would stand boldly in who I am. Just feel the difference in what you're saying to yourself there, and you're going to come into that meeting so much more different just by the thoughts. And you know, there's another way to increase eagle-like mentality, and it's not just words, it's also visualizing. Visualizing is very powerful for you to get into that space. So I created a visualization for you to get into the eagle mode, and here it is. So go ahead and close your eyes so you can really visualize, and take a few deep breaths within. And to get into the feeling of being an eagle, I want you to imagine that you are now releasing this duck mentality. The duck mentality, again, is feeling like a victim, that there's not enough, you know, that whole feeling of lack. So imagine you're shedding this duck mentality almost like a costume. You can imagine just releasing it. And as you release it, you start to move into the eagle mode. This is the part of you that feels very empowered and knows your value as you are and what you do. So imagine now, and if you're watching this video sitting down, just stand up and imagine yourself standing the way you would stand if you were empowered like an eagle, owning your own value. How would you stand? Breathe the way you would breathe if you really owned your value. Eagles breathe fully. They stand tall. Just feel that. And what do you say to yourself as you're in this place? Secure, inspired, I'm excited, I feel abundant, I know that I have great service to give people, and I believe success belongs to me. Really hear those words and own that empowered way of ego living. Feel it in the center of you, and how good it feels to release that old way of thinking, owning your value, your power, your worth. And as the ego-empowered way of being, you start to see possibilities not only in you, but in everyone you meet. And people pick up on your energy. So see now, being in a room, in a social or business atmosphere, where people are picking up on this energy, you're bringing them up, and they can feel that lit up feeling inside of you, and it lights them up. They feel your energy, and your beingness already lifts their spirits. And just breathe into that. And you can open your eyes. Hopefully you were able to get a sense of what it feels like to be an eagle with that exercise. You can practice it again. If you have some doubts and say, ooh, that was hard to bring in, just write down some things. What was hard about that? So you can start journaling about what prevents me from getting into that ego mode of thinking. It's a practice. Just lean into it. And you can do this just kind of one day at a time. Just notice when you're doing the quack, 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 and say to yourself, no, I want to stop. I want to think like an eagle. I want to breathe into that power. It feels good. It feels empowering. And it affects everyone around you in a positive way. So go for it. Be an eagle.